There is, of course, no Mariners news on free agency or other transactions today. Baseball free agency is not like football and basketball free agency, where they want you to get everything done pretty quickly, and the rules basically suggest that you should get everything done quickly because of the amount of money. Now, obviously, in baseball, there is no salary cap, but the Mariners did get some interesting news for their former manager, Lou Pinella. He is one of the 8 modern era Baseball Hall of Fame nominees for this year, which is really cool. He is in the Mariner Hall of Fame. One of the 8 finalists, which is super cool. Um, the Lupinea was a baseball player for a little while. He had 5,867 at bats, 1,705 hits, 102 home runs, batted .291, 651 runs scored, 766 RBIs, 32 stolen bases, and an OBP of 409. OPS is 741 and an OPS plus of 109. But we're more interested in Lupinea as a manager. As a manager, he is an amazing manager. He managed 3,548 games, and 1,835 of them were wins, 1,713 were losses. That is a 51% winning percentage, which is really good for baseball. Started with the Yankees for 2 years, 3 years, then went to the Reds for 3 years, then went to the Mariners from 1993 all the way until 2002. Was the first manager to get the Mariners into the playoffs, and then he went to the Tampa Bay Devil Rays for a little while, then the Cubs. Unfortunately, he left the Cubs in 2010 when he retired, so he did not get the ability to enjoy the Cubs World Series. So it doesn't look like he actually won a World Series. One pennant and one World Series win. What year did he win the World Series? It was with the Reds. He won the World Series with the Reds in 1990. I always forgot about that. That was before I was born. Pineda was a very good manager. He actually was he the manager in 2001? Yes, he was the manager of the Mariners team that won 116 and 46 and then lost to the Yankees, which was unfortunate. He has been ejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 16, or 15, 17, 18, 19, 24, 27, 34. 38, 42, 44, 8, 53, 57, 61, 64 times in his career, which is absolutely wild to think about. That is a lot. Oh, this game is like Mario. Cool. I died. That is absolutely cool to think about when you're like, oh, because as a manager, you want a manager that is going to stand up for his guys. And a manager who stands up for his guys is one like Lou Pineda, who ended up getting ejected the amount of times that I said he did, which is an absolutely amazing thing. Won a World Series, one pennant, one World Series title in his entire career. Has the American League record for most wins in a season with 116. That was back in 2001. Was the first manager to get the Mariners into the playoffs, which is an amazing thing. Because when you think about the Mariners have had 4 players rupture a total of 5 testicles over the course of the time that they have existed, and they've made the playoffs 4 times in their history, which is they've made the playoffs 5 times in their history, which is not great. Because when you think about that, you want the Mariners, you want a team that can actually make the playoffs, and in general, rupturing testicles is bad. If you really think about that. But I'm super happy that Lupinea is a modern era candidate for the Baseball Hall of Fame because he's a super cool dude, super cool manager. He was one of the more amazing managers in Mariners history. I like our current manager, Scott Service, as just the guy for right now. I don't know if he's like Mark Jackson in Golden State, where he was the guy before the guy. But if he is the guy before the guy, it's fine. But Scott Service isn't bad for right now, other than his obsession with matchups and handedness. Very happy to see that Lou Piniella is getting recognized. I'm going to look and see who the other Baseball Hall of Fame for contemporary finalists are. All right. The contemporary baseball managers, umpires include Cito Gaston, Davey Johnson, Jim Leyland, Ed Montague, Hank Peters, Lou Piniella, Joe West, and Bill White. All candidates except Peters are living. That's actually pretty cool. Joe West, I believe Joe West was a manager for a while. I think he won multiple World Series. Joe West was an umpire. Born in 1952, he worked in MLB from 1976 until 2021, working 5,460 games and a record 43 seasons. The reason he is able to be a contemporary nominee despite retiring literally 2 years ago is because of the fact that baseball says if you're over 70 and you're like an umpire, you are okay to be elected to the Hall of Fame, even if you're active. It's the same reason why Greg Popovich is in the Basketball Hall of Fame, which I think is super cool because there are a lot of Hall of Famers who did work until late in their career, late in life, who died before the amount of time necessary to actually make the Hall of Fame. And that's a really sad thing. You want people who are going to be honored in the Hall of Fame to be people who will be there at the Hall of Fame. The NASCAR Hall of Fame, its first induction ceremony included Bill France Sr., Bill France Jr., and Dale Earnhardt Sr. Notably, the thing in common with the three of them, including their work in NASCAR, is that they are all dead, and were all dead at the time of their induction into the Hall of Fame, and that was due to the unfortunate issue of NASCAR not creating a Hall of Fame until far too late into their existence, which is a thing that's happened. I'm super excited that Lou Piniella is going to potentially be in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Mariners Hall of Fame, and I'm happy about that. I absolutely am happy that we're going to see potentially a Mariner, or well, he probably won't go in as a Mariner. He'll probably go in as a Cincinnati Red because he won that World Series with them. But I'm super excited about that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.